And I want to make a scene where you talk to a character right in the start of the game, because the game's got like a little confusing so about what's going on, because it's based on Phoenix writing, and I'm not really used to writing. And as you probably noticed, English is not my first language. So yeah, I decided to make like an intro that explains better. Now I saw the chat. Hi, Mutton Cat and Medicine Magic and Brown John. And yeah, I'm using right now a Wacom Bamboo, and it's really good for me right now. But I'm thinking about switching it to a newer version or something like a bigger tablet or something. Um, so I'll start making like a very crude background, just so there is something to be so we can see. But I'll draw a character on top of that soon. Just make like some random walls. Okay. And this is like I don't know if you played Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney series. There's Ace Attorney series. Um, but it's something like you talk to people, like a first person perspective, and that's like what I'm going for here. I'm just putting a little more contrast here. And just okay. Okay. So, um, I'm just making sure that this line is not too choppy, or it will look weird. Okay. And this one. I like working with for backgrounds. I like working with like very low color count, because if you have too many colors in the background, even if they are similar or something, they usually get distracting. And usually one like a very low contrast, and even though the backgrounds are interesting, but usually, but you don't want the player to be looking at them too much, like distracting from the main thing going on. Oh, my cat's gone. The neighbor's dog is on my door right now, and my cats, they get so curious every time that happens. One cheap trick that I like to do is like when I'm making interior areas, I do like this shadow thing. It's like this diagonal line, and just it looks like it has some depth where there is not really any. Hi, G-Man. and hi not street. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at reading usernames. So as you can see, like I had I made like recently 1-bit art tutorial, and I was trying to explain some stuff from that. Let me open that. And minimalist Patreon tutorial. It's so many files. 1-bit here. So yeah, I tried to explain a bunch of stuff here from. That's too big. I try to explain like how I do 1-bit art there because even though this is a cool style that you can use it just for like, oh, I want to make 1-bit art and so something like Game and Watch, and I don't know. You can also use that kind of knowledge to do stuff like this. Like I'm making a door here on the background, and this section of the drawing, like this, it's like a far background. It's a little dark. I'm not sure if you can see. I'll just increase the contrast just a little. Yeah, then I'll turn it back on. So this thing, it's all in 1-bit, right? So I'll make like a. I have to know how to make 1-bit or to do this, right? This kind of stuff. It's useful outside this style, like. I think the contrast is too high now. I'll turn it down just a minute. Actually, Mega Super Sass asked me if I sketch my work. I do. I mean, I don't sketch it in high resolution first. I sketch it directly in pixel art, kind of like I'm doing right now. I made like a blocky thing, and now I'm polishing it. I don't like sketching high because, for example, if I made like this knob here in high resolution, I would probably made it like way more complicated than I should because it's in high resolution. I don't have any limitations like pixel limitations. But since I'm doing this here, like in a very low resolution, I can focus on what's important and do what the resolution allows me to do, right? Not this is one like another not trick, but something that I learned not long ago, that if you're making like a wall like this, it doesn't look like a wall, but if you add like a footer, suddenly becomes a wall. Like it's dumb, but it, like 2 lines, they made like a huge difference. Amara just found a croc.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, not sad. Uh, Ted is right. It's not that I skip the drafting stage. I just make it differently. Oh, I just noticed it that I don't have my glasses. I should. Yeah, I don't need them. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. I don't really need glasses, but sometimes I get. Nah. Sometimes I can get a headache if I don't use them. But sometimes I do have a headache when I use them. I think I don't know. I think I should use them. All right. Okay, I have a tiny background thing here. It feels too empty, but there'll be like a huge character standing right in front of it. And let me save this. This is mission. Oops. And let's do the character. Um, let me open. I always had to do this. Like when I'm working on one character or one thing from a game, I need to start from something else that I made. For example, right now I'm going to get the reader. Where is food? Yeah, yeah. So I made this character for the. He's like the first guy that interrogates you, and and when I'm working on any asset, like almost any asset, I'll open the previous asset that I made, and even if I just delete everything and start again, I need to have it as some kind of reference, like right here, just so I don't screw up the scale, like because if I was going to make a character here with no reference, I could make like his head like this size, and or maybe like too small, like standing right here. And then when you go to this character, you would be confused because the scale change, and that would be weird. So I always have another asset standing there just in case. Okay. So oh yeah, I need to get a reference for the character I'm drawing. And on paper. So all the characters, they are named after animals. This one is jaguar. Yeah, like you see, I'm sketching right now, but I'm sketching on the resolution already, and it's super dirty. And I'm just making like some, just trying to get a proportion. Jaguar would be like the character is like a tough guy. He's he's an infiltrated agent. Oh fuck. Oh sorry. I swear a lot. I so he's like an infiltrated agent, and I don't think that's a spoiler because the game starts about that, but he died right on the start, and your character, which is called Egret or Egret, I have no idea how to pronounce that in English properly, but I think it's Egret according to Google last time I checked. She's framed for his death, and you have to prove your innocence. This idea is not mine actually. It's from a cover from like a fake game cover from an exposition called My Famicom, I think. My Famicase. And that exposition had like a jam, a game jam of games based on that, and I chose one called Hotbox. It's by a guy called Rene Antunes. Is that he's like Jaguar from Rick and Morty? What do you mean? I don't remember a Jaguar in Rick and Morty. There's a character named Jaguar in Rick and Morty that died or something? Oh, that's another little tip that can be a trick that's useful sometimes. I don't know if you noticed, but I flipped the image really, really quick. Like this, and it came back. So this is so I can see some mistakes because when you're drawing, your eyes they get used to the finger drawing, and all of a sudden you start thinking that some weird asymmetrical thing. It's all right. It's not weird at all. But when you flip the image, your eyes go weird and they don't recognize the images anymore. So you get like a new judgment from it. So it's good if you want to spot some mistakes in your image. If you flip your image and all of a sudden it's super weird because you're doing something wrong. Oh, let me see that guy from Rick and Morty. Jaguar, Rick and Morty. Because oh yeah, holy shit, yeah, I remember that guy. And I saw that episode like recently, I think. So maybe it's a reference that I didn't conscious like not a conscious thing. How the unconscious decision? Not unconscious decision? Yeah, from Pico Rick episode. Yeah, yeah. I think I'll make him like half shaven too. I need some reference. I have two monitors, so on the other monitor, I'm using. I'm searching for references. I always try to find references for your stuff. Mm, okay. So now I start the actual like whoa, the actual shading and drawing on top of this. I some people like to have another layer for this, but I just do everything in the same layer. Okay, let's see skin tone. And even though he's like this is a picture of him. I don't know when, but he's not in the same place of the picture. But so his colors would be slightly different or something. But I will not do that. We will use the same color just because I want the player to recognize him easier. Because you see, when you're writing something, when you're making a game, for you, it's usually easy to recognize all the characters and all the stories and everything. But usually for someone who's playing, especially if it's like this game is like it's like a small game and it's not an expensive game or something. It's like probably will be like a very cheap small game. So I can't trust the player to have the whole attention focused in this game. So the player needs all the help I can give to recognize characters, to remember names and what happened in the story. Or the player will probably just get confused. Yep, that's That's some Zelda. Morris playing Zelda. She wanna make 100% on Breath of the Wild, and I think she's getting close to it. I guess. Yeah, you still need to get so many corrects, but other than that, I think it's getting close. So again, like things like small details like that. Like I'm using the same exact color palette on this character and here and here. So I don't know. Maybe when you see him on the picture, it's easier for you to recognize him. I need to put this somewhere closer. Yes. As you can see, I'm sketching it like very like roughly. I'm not paying much attention to the pixels right now. Like I still avoid like some stuff like this, like just leaving one pixel there. Because this is confusing. But in general, I'm not too worried about like the pixel perfect right now. What I'm worried right now is proportion and general lighting. That's the main thing to think about right now. Yeah, start getting okay. No, he doesn't have this. He have like this. He has like a big like strong jawline or something. In this part of the game, he's like suspicious that something's going on. There's something wrong with the mission. Everything went almost too easily. Something. It's quiet, like too quiet, something like that. Oh, hi Dan. Hi Dan. Nice to see you here. Love your stuff. Oh, this is a tough question. Jimin asked me, how do I choose my color palette? Usually, I'm terrible with colors. It's something that I need to study urgently. What I usually do is do something like this. I go to here on Ace they have a bunch of default color palettes. My favorite one is DB32 and that's got 32. And I also love the Arnie palettes too. Usually I get one of those or a combination of those and tweak it to get more into the mood of the game that I'm working on. It's something like that for now. I couldn't find much stuff on like how to build your on color palette and stuff like that. So for now, I'm just not worrying too much about that. I'm just going with what I usually do. Like I just choose the colors almost at random. Some things help, like if you know some color theory, it helps. For example, you have to change the hue, like if you're making a scale like this, like like a scale, like a skin scale like this. Like this is the middle tone. If you go darker, you see I'm changing the hue and the saturation a little towards the purple because this is the colder thing. And when I go lighter, I do this. And you can do like some subsurface scattering, I think, which is you increase the saturation a lot, and then turn it down on the division errors, stuff like that. Mega Super Sessa as the character is black. No, he's white. Just like he's in the shadow or something. The protagonist is though. Actually, I'm not sure if she's like black. I'm not sure of her heritage. She has dark skin. But the only picture we see of her right now, it's this one. Whoops. Yeah, this is the protagonist of the game, but we only see her through this small picture for now. I don't know. I want to make maybe a bigger image over her. But yeah, Dan said something that's really cool. Like a palette is never really done. You tweak it forever. And that's true. I like to start, for example, with a palette that, usually that's someone made because I'm not, like I said, I'm not really good with palettes. And after I started, I start changing it according to what's going on. Sometimes I go another step and try to force myself to work on a limited palette for a while, but every time I do that, after a while I just give up. And not in a bad way, but I give up because I think that the style of the colors has already been like settled in my mind. Then now I can add more things. You gotta like pay attention when some limitation is helping you to giving you like some some guidance, and when the limitations are just holding you back. If the limitations are just holding you back, you shouldn't do this. Like you shouldn't have them because like pixel art, like the resolution, for example, I we are not limited to low resolutions nowadays, so it's a choice to do them, and that choice it's only valid if it's helping you, not otherwise. Blood Vlad, thank you. I'm glad you're helpful. There's something here. Yeah, you see, this is like it's probably hard to see on stream, but you see what's happening here. There's like two colors here. That there's one here, and the other one here, for example, and those two colors they are very close to each other. Usually, you want to avoid that because uh, that's another good thing. You only have colors if you can This is like in my experience. Some people may think differently, but usually I try to only have color if I can justify the existence of them. If I have two colors that can be replaced with one, I will do that. It's something like that. Every time I add a new color to my palette, right now I'm working like in this face. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I have the 5 colors. Yeah, I'll even leave this here. It's cute. Um, if I, for example, think I need another tone here, like something between this and this, and I do this. Okay, I made a little anti-alias here. I can't, I cannot just do this here and do not do this here, and I don't know, somewhere else that needs that color. Because if I do that, actually I like that color. I'll keep it. If I do that, like if I only use this color like in an earring or something, there is no reason why not to use it like everywhere else I can. So I'm not sure if this is confusing, but something like that. If you add a color, you have the responsibility to use it like everywhere. Like it's something like Spider-Man, like great power, responsibility, and stuff. Like adding colors is good, but you have to use it every time you do. What the oh yeah, Blood Vlad asked me what the resolution of the file, and what resolution do you aim the game to be displayed. So usually I have a strict resolution that I'm working on, like something Celeste I think is 320 and 400, no, 320 and 140 I think. I'm not sure. But this game is it's like a jam game, and I started like very quickly, and then I just went with it. Like right now, this image is like the biggest size of that our background can be. It's 480 and 240, and then but the thing is, like, if you I'm making this like for a bunch of platforms. I'm making this for PC, Mac, Linux, and I want to make this for mobile too. It's almost done. I'm just adding a new scene, and I tested on all those platforms working, which is great. But the thing is, if you have a PC and you have like a 4 by 9, I don't remember, the square resolution, like the old monitor resolution thing, is like something like this. So I will crop out everything here. Oops. Yeah, all this will be gone. If you have like a wide monitor, like I do, you have something that will be like this. And if you have a ultra wide monitor, it could be probably something like the whole thing. So you only see the whole thing if you have like an ultra wide monitor. But I'll try to always keep the height consistent. GG Game Boy asked me from when I'm streaming. I started today. I want to do this like more regularly. I always say that, and I never do this regularly. But yeah, sometimes maybe I can like I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but maybe something like stream 1 week, make a tutorial the other week, or something like that. And especially now that I'm like I have I think 50 something tutorials right now, and I'm running out of teams. I'm not running out of teams. I'm just getting more and more specific every week. I mean, I can talk about like dogs or some specific type of vegetation. But in general, I think I covered the most of the fundamentals and some general stuff. But Anyway, I think it can be cool too. I can make like some screens and maybe record it on YouTube. Maybe even later. I'm not sure if I will be able to do that right now, but in the future, maybe even edit a little, like cut some parts and make like a shorter version, so people don't have to watch like a 1 hour video to get something. So this is a def area. Next are annoying. Because I need to have like a huge contrast between the neck and the body. But this is like too dark. But I can't do this, otherwise he'll look. I almost can, but I can't because it's like the contrast is too low. And oh, did he also ask me what is this game jam? This game jam is called was called. It's done. I didn't finish it in time on purpose later. I mean, it's called a game by its cover. It's on itch.io. But the thing is, I finished the game for the jam, and I was kind of happy with it, but I decided to keep working on it a little more and have a better game. The idea is to make something on that I can sell on itch.io for $1 or something like that, because it's a very short story. And I want to give it for free, of course, to all my Patreons. So if you're my Patreon, you get the game for free. But if you're not, you can just get it on itch.io for $1. Or more if you want to support making more stuff. But this is like a a weird experimentation game. It's some I think this character. If you see, like this character is way bigger than the other. I don't like this. So the thing I'll do is I'll get everything here. Yeah, shit. And I'll use the rot sprite algorithm from A-Sprite, and I'll just rescale everything, like shamelessly rescale everything until it's just in the side like kind of. Yeah, I think this size is better. He's still bigger than the other guy, but yeah, he's still a little bigger, but that's fine because the character is bigger. He's like a tough special agent infiltrated as how do you call it? Security chief of a mysterious organization. Yeah, someone is playing Breath of the Wild in background. It's Amora. And Heidi too, not playing, but she's watching. Yeah, she played, but she's not playing right now. So the thing is, remember that I said before about I'm not really worried about the pixel perfect thing. Like I'm not worried about making all the correct NTLAs and stuff like and other stuff like that. Because of things like what just happened. I just noticed that the character is Eddie. The character is is bigger than he should be, then I had to rescale everything. So if I did made the whole character in with all the correct amount of all the pixels correctly and everything, I would have just threw work away because I had to rescale it. I mean, I could rescale it manually, which means like cutting and pasting and everything, but this way I can save a lot of time. Yeah, I'm not sure how. I'm terrible with heads. Especially bald people. I never draw bald people. I don't know why. Oh yeah, this Wind Waker link on my door is so cool. A friend of mine, Murilo, gave it to me. It's amazing. Okay. You see what happened there? Right now, I was drawing on a flipped image so I could see what was wrong. 'Cause I noticed that this is like pointing to the left, and after flipping the image, I could see that. All right, now let's give him a suit. Again, I have no idea how to draw a suit, so let's Google the suit. I literally just Google image suit. Yeah, found one. In some part of the drawing, I even do something which is not very common in pixel art. I rescale my brush to bigger size, just so I can like really block out stuff. This is the first character you see in the game. And I want to give it like a suit also because I want it to be like I want it to feel a little like a cheesy spy movie. Like, oh, you're talking to the agent Jaguar, and he's wearing like a black suit and something. I think it's better. Yeah, the problem here is that the black suit has terrible contrast with my almost black background. And this will be a problem. I have to do something like I need to make my background lighter, I need to make the suit darker, or at least, which is what I will probably try to do, is I'll try to put some rim light on the suit. No, sorry, I just forgot about the comments. Let's see. Yeah, Blood asked me if I animate everything the same layer. Sometimes, for the smaller sprites, I do. For example, I was just here, this guy. Let me get the original. Like this guy. Let me see. Yeah, here. You see this little animated. I'm not sure how animation will play there if the frame rate is right. Yeah, I think it's okay. So yeah, usually since the resolution is so small, I will work all in the same layer. Right here. Sometimes, like for example here, see, I have clearly a bunch of things happening at the same time. Oops, yeah. I have like a statue breaking out. I have a character in the background waking up. And I have a bunch of particles just going poof. So I will animate those in 3 separate layers. And I did like a very, very hacky thing here. I have you see, like if I see only the statue, all of a sudden the character appears here, but I made it in another layer just here. I mean, when I'm working with layers, I'm usually a mess. Oh, those notes on the top of the Vlad asked me how do I make those notes. They are not only notes; they are actually separate animations that you can export and individually, and it's really cool. And you can even set up different speed and everything with that. It's you just to do that, you just select a group of frames, you right click, and set loop section. This thing, or like I usually do, I just press F2, and then it will be here. But it will be called loop. Usually, we're gonna call it something more useful, like my animation, and that's it. It's here, and then you can choose the direction, and you can even change the colors for something like this. Like, oh, this is like a special thing. I wish I could do like I said, like notes. I wish I could just do not animate and put a color. Just because sometimes I need to know, oh, these are the important frames. But if you do have like this here, when you play, it will just loop here. But yeah, that's how I usually make. I can't pronounce your username. Sorry, MR Raffles. I sorry. I've been getting back into PixArt lately, and I recently worked on a 3 reference to do Valley art. Have you ever referenced another game in your PixArt? Oh, I do that a lot. For example, Wind Waker is like sorry, not Wind Waker, the other one. No, with the small link, the link that Minish Cap. Yes, Minish Cap. I reference Minish Cap a lot, because you need reference to make your stuff. So and another the main game I use as reference is actually Flashback, the Fine Flashback. I love that game, like visually, and I love to play that. Did you ask me what is the size of the portrait? It's 480 by 240. And yeah, they're huge. It's because it's like like I said, it's like an investigation game, and I want the characters to be super expressive and to have a very large area in the screen because a whole game will just be talking to characters. So it's important to have like big characters. I was going to make it. I was thinking about making it like high resolution actually, but in the end I decided for pixel art just because it's easier for me to work in pixel art right now. Have you tried Octopath Traveler? You know, I have no idea what is that. Can you give me a link? I haven't tried it. I don't know what it is. I like the name though. Yeah. You see, like I'm always like avoiding adding new colors. Right now, I did add one. I want this thing to be to have some stripes. Oh, it's a demo on the Switch by Square. I haven't. Let me see some screenshots of the backdrop. No, it's fine. I can Google this. It's there. Oh, nice. It's like, are those voxels or pixel art or something? Wow, nice. I really like this style. It's like a mix of pixel art and 3D. I don't know. Huh, really cool. Tchau, tchau, Gigi. Até mais. I'm just saying bye to Gigi. He is also here from Brazil. So, hi, Mr. Go Mankey. Wait. Yeah, looks amazing. I just saw like very briefly some screenshots. Look great. Very original art style, right? I was thinking about making something not like that, but the kinda like that, like mixing 3D and pixel art, and I was trying to come up with a style. Uh, on a game I was trying to, that was I don't know, me and Davey random we were thinking about making pixel art 3D thing experiment. Yeah, Jimen said they're using Unreal Engine. Yeah, exactly what me and Davey were using. But we only made like just some sketches. Nothing final. I think I'll have to. Oh, I can't get this big contrast on the street right. So I'll just make it darker. And this. Let's for now so I can. Yeah, I don't really like this part, but yeah, okay. Yeah, actually, I think I have. I don't know where. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, I have a a sketch on how they do that. I think not that. How I was going to do. I think it's probably similar. It's something like this. You have a camera and like boxes of 3D stuff with pixel art textures, and like the furniture and the characters and other stuff are like billboards rendered with a point point scaling. I think they call it's like without any anti-alias, and you illuminate that. There are some things called like sprite lamp, which is like a plugin that you can illuminate sprites pixel art. I usually don't use those, but yeah. Yeah, I think I'll just show you this thing. Like, yeah, why not? Yeah, something like this. See, it's like this is just a render test, just so I can test it, and it doesn't have like resolutions on the walls, but it's something like that. I think we should keep working on that. Yeah, I went like for like a very light palette. Yeah, so right now I'm doing that rim light I was talking about, so you can see the character from the even in the dark background. Oh, but I absolutely hate his silhouette. Yeah, this is horrible. Let me maybe I think I'll cross his arms, like he's like suspicious, and I don't know. And again, that's me trying to draw stuff without reference. I shouldn't do that, but sometimes I'm lazy. Yeah, I think this will be better. I don't know exactly why, but I think having him with the arms crossed made him a little more likable, which is good because he'll be dead like in 10 seconds of the game. So I don't want the player to mourn for this character or anything right now because the player won't have time to do that. But I think if the character is going to die, it's better if the player cares, even if just a little. So I'm trying to make him as likable as possible. So how do you? Yeah, man. One thing I can do to here is like, since the scene is so dark, I can use that to like insinuate stuff, and I don't have to draw it. So this will save me some time. For example, here, here, on this other character, you see the hand, like, I'm super lazy and didn't draw it properly just because it's in the dark. Because the scene this character is in is like super dark, so it doesn't really matter. Also, my question. Marco Felix, hey Sandra, do you recommend to follow your tutorials in some order, or can you just pick one? Yes, I should have an order. I don't have like an official order or something, but let me see. I have some tutorials that are more advanced than others. Usually, I especially recommend you to start with. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, no, I can't. Let me put this here. And Patreon. Yeah, I think now's a good time for me to talk about some of my tutorials, right? I can get back to the character later on. So, I recommend if you have like, for example, zero clue about pixel art. I don't have like a super beginner this tutorial, completely beginner tutorial, but I have some that are more about starting out than others. For example, this one is my fundamentals tutorial. Um, this is actually one of, I know it doesn't like look much, but this is one of my favorite tutorials because I explain what are pixel clusters, and I think this is, if you're starting out, this is one of the most important things to learn. The what? Oh, okay. And for and then I would recommend you to go to the second part later. But yeah, you can start with this one, something like I'll try. I think I'll explain everything like in general. Like pixel clusters are like these big blobs of pixels. Like this whole thing is a pixel cluster. This is another. This is another. This is another. For example, in this character, this whole area is a pixel cluster. There's not much contrast here. This is a pixel cluster. This is one. Basically, everything you can fill with your paint bucket, I call it a pixel cluster. I'm not sure if this is what, like the real name, like the official name of a pixel art cluster. I don't know. But this is how I call it. And pixel clusters are important because if you have too many pixel clusters, usually your drawing will look a little messy. Usually, like everything in my tutorials, some people complain with me like, "Oh, you don't like single pixels. Oh, you don't like it." It's just I'm giving like general guidelines. If you know what you're doing in general, you can just not do anything I'm telling you. But if you're looking at my tutorial in general, I think it's because you want like some general guidelines. So yeah. So if you're starting, avoid too many pixel clusters. Use as few as you can. A big problem too is like, let me pause this. Shit. So, it's like Orphan Pixels. Orphan Pixels is like a single pixel that doesn't belong anywhere. That doesn't have a cluster like this. You see? Orphan Pixels can be extremely useful. Let me see. Oh, here. You see, I use one in the eye. You see, and one here, because they draw a lot of contrast to that point. So if you have a single bright pixel there, it will look like a point of light. And but other than that, as you can see, I rarely use them. I have this here, but this is like a tiny jitter. It's not really orphan pixels because they're lightly connected to each other here. Here too, you see, it's just it's a small connection. I probably would not do something like this, or like some lost pixels like here. Like this would like add too much contrast, not contrast, sorry, too much noise to the image. So in general, you see every single pixel usually belongs to a bigger pixel cluster. This is kind of what I meant here. And I also talk about unnecessary jitter because people that are starting out usually there are a lot of tutorials out there about how to jitter for pixel art. Which jitter is like this pattern here. So you can do jitter. There's no problem about that. There are some like amazing drawings with great jitter. But if you're starting out, I would recommend against using jitter. Yeah, like I said, like when animating, the cluster should always, not always, again, general rules, but usually want to move the clusters together. Like you don't break the cluster if you don't need to. And like here, I tell you about the orphan pixels to add strong details, like this blinking eye here. Oh yeah, there's one exception where jitter is almost like super necessary, is to create texture. I don't see any alternative to using jitter here. Oh yeah, and if you want to make something like this dirt here, stuff like that you know that will be noisy, I usually try to make a pattern. Use like regular shapes, like for example here, I'm using this. Let me put it there. This shape here, and I repeat it a lot of times. This helps to create like a order, you know. And that's it for that tutorial. Like, then you can probably go to the fundamentals part 2, where I explain about lines. There are so many like rules on pixel art. This one is more complicated, and I expand this on my tutorial about outlines. But it goes almost like that. If you want to have a line that's I mean, we're working with squares, right? So if you're making a line out of squares, you probably would prefer to make like a straight line. If you can make a straight line, you should. Like as a general rule. If you cannot make a straight line, like here, I'm making this area here in this character. Can I make a straight line here? Not really, because he's obviously not very organic. He's a human, so he has like I have to make a curve here. But when I can, like in this area here, I'll make a straight line. When I cannot make a straight line, I will make what I call like a regular line. Regular lines are something like this: like 2 pixels, 2 pixels, 2 pixels, 2 pixels, etc. Or 3, 3, 3, 3, or 4, 4, 4, or e even better, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. This is the best straight line, regular line you can do. This is probably the second best, uh, third best, and so far. Because the problem is if you have like a very long line with this doesn't really look like a line. This looks more like a straight line broken in two. How do you control? Blood. How do you control the number of pixels in regular lines? You kind of don't have any shortcut for that. Oh yeah, actually you do. If you hold Shift on a sprite, it will make a straight line. Then like a two pixel line. I think there's a name for this line, but I don't remember. If you go a little more, then you go 1, 2, 1, and that's it. You don't have to make. You can't make like lines of 3 pixels. Which is a shame. I think there should be like a shortcut or something. No. But you can look at them, and after a while you get used counting. Like I can see there's 3, 3, 3, and 4. It's harder, but I think it's possible. Other solution would be like you do like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and yeah, 2, 3, 4, 1, and you do that. There's no like a very easy way of making this. And then again, sometimes you need to use like irregular lines. So in those cases, you want at least to do something like this. You see, two pixels, 1 pixel, 2 pixel, 1 pixel, 2 pixel. Or like 3 pixel, 1 pixel, 3 pixel, 1 pixel. Something like sorry, 3, 2, 3, 2. You want something as regular as possible. You need a pattern. And usually a pattern of 2 numbers. Like here, if you use like the L tool, it will try to do that. Like you see, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And if you do like the yeah, here you see 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. Something like that. And but the problem is sometimes you're not making like lines that you're making like that I just made here. You're just making a curve or something. Yeah, this is the thing that I teach next year. If you're making a curve, you usually want again, you want some kind of pattern. Every time you're drawing something, you are counting pixels. Usually, I mean, if you're going like a very high resolution and don't really care, or if you're using a different technique, then you won't do this. But if you're like cleaning up and really making a clean pixel art thing, traditional, you probably are like I'm trying to do. You are counting pixels, like here. You see, this is. Let me put this. This is a straight line here. You see, this border has a straight line. And then I have 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, there's a problem. 2, then 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. You see, there's a pattern here. There's a logic to it, and that's in general like the spirit of pixel art. Oh, shit. After that, I talk about bad corners, which is another like common um, let's say mistake. Again, this depends on the style you're aiming for. I avoid that. Which is something like this. You see, on a line, sometimes you have something like this. This is something I call bad corner. Oh, and this, like, see, like this little missing pixel. This is complicated. This is very common for me. And something like you have a line and then you have a single pixel here. This is, if you look at the preview here, doesn't look good. So this is almost like as bad as an orphan pixel. And there's like this this part is way more advanced, which is like bad squares, like unintentional squares. I'm not sure if people call it bending. Oh, this is not bending. This is I don't remember the name. I call it unintentional squares or bad squares. But let me find one example here. Yeah, this is not a great example, I think. Yeah, here. Yeah. You see, when if you zoom in a lot, when you see that lots of pixels, they align like here. Why can't I draw? Here, if they align here like this set here, they form your brain kind of thinks this is a square, or you can see the grid like the pixel grid, and most people think that the thing about retro art and pixel art is about looking at oh, so many squares, so retro, and that's right, it's okay, but in general I try to think in a different way, in a different approach. I try to think like this is a limitation, the grid, so like I'm constantly like fighting against it. I don't want my drawing to show the limitation as a good thing. So since I'm pushing the limitation to the limit, I avoid this. I avoid this big marks on the grid, which I call like bad squares. So I do something like this. I just, let me find yeah, I just push this pixel to the right, so it's not aligned this anymore. So I have this alignment here, and there's nothing here, so it's okay. And then I push this down too, so it's not like this square again. So I don't know where the square ends exactly, and stuff like that. And what I don't know why I did that, but okay. Oh yeah, because I think this two pattern here was creating like this another square here. I don't know. In general, you fight that grid. But yeah, in general, I think you could get those two tutorials, the fundamentals, and keep them, I don't know, open or something as a reference for general guidelines, and then you can try to practice on top of another tutorial, like the sci-fi one, or the I don't know. I think walking animation is a little complicated to start, but something like special effects, the smoke one, I think it's fairly good for starting. You see, like I was doing here. For example, I'm doing like a backlight on this ear. I could do something like this, but then I would align everything here. Then Instead, I just do this. Look, I put another pixel here. Just so I don't have this, I'm pointing the monitor. I don't have this line here. Every time I can break a square, like a bigger imaginary square, I'll do it. Of course, without compromising the drawing, right? Sometimes they are just unavoidable. Oh, this blue thing is like a backlight I'm trying to add. I'm so bad at adding backlights. Again, if I do this, this is not very good. I need to do this. So, not another breaking more imaginary squares. Mr. Hafonso asked me, where can we find and save all of your tutorials? Well, you can get them all here. Just post a link. It's on studiominiboss.com. It's it's my game like company thing, and I have all the tutorials there. Or you can. That's probably the easiest way. Maybe I should have a zip file there so people can download. Huh. I never thought about it. Maybe I'll do that too. But you can also get them on Patreon. Let me here. The good thing about Patreon is that you can get them with descriptions and some on each tutorial. If you click on the tag, you can see the description of the tutorial have like oh, this tutorial references another tutorial, and then something like that. And even though it's on Patreon, it's for free, right? You don't need to pay me or anything. It's just free. The only thing that you have to pay for is to vote on next teams, or to get all the raw files, which are the sprite files and some other formats for so it's easier for you to study it, so you can get like a 100% GIF, which if you want, you can do it yourself. You can just download it and just rescale it. And you can get if you are on Patreon, you can get the layered file too, which is like might be interesting to get them for like study and to see how I do stuff exactly. But the tutorials and general stuff, they're always there. I don't like this mouth. I want him to have like a tiny mouth. I'll make him too tiny. I don't know. I picture him with like a big guy, tough guy with a tiny mouth. That's my briefing. Yeah, I think I'm starting to like the shape of this character a little more. Yep. The thing is, like, I have this character like posing like in front of you, and like I told before, I have a very dark background and a very dark clothes on this character. So I'm using a lighter color to make like a border, like a rim, and I only insinuate the shapes. And this is another thing about pixel art, right? It's all about insinuating shapes. And I say I said somewhere some article or something that pixel art is like a collaborative art style. I only make part of the work, like for example, let me get Skyturn is a good example for that. Oh shit. Just a second. I think it's going to show. Like, yeah, here. Like this character here, Neva, our main character. Just by looking at her, you can't see much, right? You see some insinuated shapes for her face, and you can see that she's holding something that looks like a shovel. She may have some weird pockets in here. Sorry. She has some bracelets, a green shirt, and pants. But I'm sure that when you see her, you see someone in your hand, like the complete character, the final character. Like you see something, you imagine something, and that who created that, it's you, not me. So in pixel art, I think it's good not only to remember that, but to also use that in your favor, right? So right here, like, but like smaller scale, you can see that I'm like just insinuating the shapes, so you can complete the rest with your imagination. And the good thing about that is that you will probably imagine something better than I would have drawn, because you're imagining it and you are the judge. So it's just for you. I think that's why I like Pixar. It's touching, right? I like that. Oh, hi, Mani. Nice to see you here. Blood Vlad asked me, would you consider making a tutorial about how you work and use grid for games? I'm still trying to wrap my head around making assets that form part of a bigger level. That's interesting. Working on a grid. I made a tutorial about tile sets once. Making tiles. This one. Let me send it to you. No, there's something wrong on. Okay. So yeah, I made this tutorial about tiles, which give you some aspects about how to make some square assets for a game in general. But yeah, I don't really explain in depth how it's like the process of making a tile set and then implementing it. What I could do, but I don't think I can fit that in this tutorial shape. Yeah, that's another problem with my tutorials. I really like this general shape because it forces me to keep it simple. But the problem is that I can't explain like complicated stuff like that, like how it's like the pipeline of making assets and putting them in the game and everything. So what I can do is I can stream that maybe. I can do that sometimes. I can make a tile set and put in a game or something like that. And here I'll do something. I'll just flip it. I don't like this anymore. I usually avoid flipping when I can, but sometimes I don't mind. Especially like this when the character is standing right in front of you. So it should be like slightly mirror, so I'll flip something and then I'll keep working on it. And then it won't look exactly the same anymore. Like right here, it won't even have the glow. I think it's getting close, right? To a final character here. I'll make the eyebrows a little stubbier. This was for a game jam, but the game jam is over, and I'm making this because I think I'll try to publish it. I'm just like polishing it up more. Oi, Má. Fã de Pindamonhangaba? Beijo. Mr. Rafonso, I noticed that you create your own music for your games. Oh yeah, I was using. I just actually this game was. It's a weird story. I wanted to learn how to make music for games recently, and because I really, every time I saw, like, I don't know, people that can make their own music and everything, I would get jealous. And, oh shit, I really want to make music. And and then I talked to Ben Prunty, which is the awesome musician that's making the music for Skyturn for us, and he told me that Ableton Live is really cool. And now I'm making music with that. I mean, I got I was using the demo version, and then I got now the light version, and I'm thinking that I will upgrade it soon, but it's so expensive, the thing. But I'm using this thing here, which is I'm not sure if it, this thing. Let me see on yeah the preview. Yeah, this is like an oh, so dirty. Akai MPK Mini. It's a tiny thing, and I put like little stickers because I don't remember the notes. Yeah, because I'm not a real musician. I made something because I'm learning. And oh, it's so dirty. Let me just clean this up. Okay, so and I'm using that, and and it's really fun. Other thing that I use is um, Audacity for editing sounds, and that's it. Oi, Heidi. Oi, amor. Tudo bem? And let me see. What else? Oh yeah, I also used Pixels, I think people call it, for some other gems. Oh yeah, I forgot to make the stripes on his tie. Not looking very good. Mm. I think this is almost done. Looking at this other character, let me see. What do I have here? I need some reference again. Like I said when I started, when I'm working on a project, I always use previous assets that I made as reference. Like I reference myself inside the same project all the time because otherwise I might lose consistency. Oh, here. They all have like this very strong light, but I'm not putting it on this character because these two characters here, they're inside interrogation room with a very strong light on top of them, so that's why they have this white thing. But this one is not. He's actually in a very dark corridor. but they both have like this very dark lines on them, especially in the eyes. I think I'll do this. Again, this is something that I wasn't going to do, but since all the other characters have this level of contrast, I'm starting to think that I should do this too. I'm using the previous color here, the very dark blue, to anti-alias the other one. And I'm thinking, I think I will add like a border. Pode mandar sim, cara. And usually I'm a little lazy with the border. I do something like Sprite has this awesome shortcut F9, which is called the Convolution Matrix. I have no idea why I have this cool name, but then you can just outline stuff. But I'm not doing that. I was doing this manually just because I can have more control right now. Mano, manda pra mim sim, cara. Manda e-mail pra mim pelo estúdio Miniboss. Ó, deixa eu escrever aqui. Sorry, Ismail was asking me if he can send me a game so I can take a look at. I think the backlight should hit his nose a little. Oi, Didi, bem-vindo. Oh, you can feel free to ask stuff down there. I don't mind answering. He asked me if how did you come about learning Unity? Um, I'm I have a programming background already for a while. I learned some basic programming when I was in school, and when I started making games, I studied some more, and then after a while, after so many people telling me that Unity is a cool engine and it's so easy to port to stuff, I decided to give it a try on this jam. And and already had a few projects that I was starting to explore. And Yeah, basically I just got a bunch of tutorials online and was learning how to use them. Like in general, I try to make my own stuff, my own assets, like my own program my own stuff. But sometimes I also use stuff from the asset store. I love Fungus. I'm using Fungus. It's like a visual novel engine. It's free. It's really good. And the visual novel engine is so easy to use. You should check it out if you want to make some visual novel at some point. But I'm also coding in C# there, which is nice. I really like C#. Skytorn is also C#, so for me it's wasn't a big change. Adding some more details to his face because I'm thinking now that I don't have enough. And I think I'm almost done. Almost done. This character took me way more than I was expecting to. Way more time. The good thing is that this game has like a very sketchy look. What is the visual engine? Visual novel engine? It's called Fungus. I'll type it here. If you look at on the asset store or Google Fungus Unity, you can find it. It's fairly popular. Raid, meu amor, se estiver ouvindo, tem Oxazuki ainda? Beijo. Aproveitar o stream pra. I'm so bad at drawing hands. At least this one is like inside, like very dark place, so I don't need to detail it. What happened? Bloodvad said, okay, see you around, Bloodvad. I'm almost done here too. I'm going to stop soon too because I'm getting tired. And I need to eat. And Heidi made ochazuke. I have no idea how to pronounce that properly, but it's like a Japanese rice thing. Really good. Opa, valeu, Valim. Depois eu dou uma olhada. Eu tô meio fugido de tempo essa semana, mas quando der eu dou uma olhada assim. So yeah, cheers. I think it's rice with tea on it. So like rice, like goham rice, Japanese rice, and it has like it has tea, right? Like green tea. And what? Rice. And yeah, rice and green tea. Okay, I think I'm done for now. As you can see, the process is like very chaotic. I go all over the place. I start with a sketch, and then I finish some important parts first. Then I go kind of sketch the rest, and now I do this, which I'm like I trying to improve each individual area one by one. Oh, I save all the time. I want to see a cool thing now. I remember that A Sprite had like a million undos. Like I don't know how many undos I have, but I know it's a lot. I know that you can like hold. Let me the Control Z button, and can see the whole process in reverse. Wait, oh, let me do this. What? I wanna remove the. Ah, shit. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, if I just hold Ctrl Z, you can see everything going backwards. It's interesting sometimes. Some people do this, like they record the screen doing this, and then they invert it, and then you have like a time lapse video. I kind of like something about the start of the drawing. The mouth was a little more. Yeah, see, infinite undos. Well, everyone, I think that's it for today, and I'm tired. I would just not save this because I would overwriting. Yeah, the problem is that now if I open the file again, the undos they are gone. But it's interesting, right? Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. If you want, don't forget you can subscribe here on Twitch, and you can get notification when I go online. You, holy shit! You're what is that thing? Oh my god! Sorry, Amara. Amara just killed a huge thing on Zelda. And thanks everyone for watching. You can subscribe on Twitch. You can if you like what I'm doing, and you can also support me on Patreon. That's the link. And you probably came here because you follow me on Twitter, but if you want, you can also follow me on Twitter. That's the link. And that's it. Thanks a lot for all the questions and everything. It's really cool. I love answering those. And that's it. Thank you, and bye bye everyone.